Yo, what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Today is Sunday, October 26th. It is 5:40 p.m. right before futures open at 6. I just want to go over my important day trading levels for the trading week ahead. Trading week starting on the 27th and then going to the last day of the month. Um, so it's pretty crazy that we're already already at the end of October and getting ready for the November trading month. Hopefully October was a great trading month for everybody, and hopefully November will be even better. But let's get right into the watch list. Obviously, we're going to start with the NQ chart here. NQ chart obviously parabolic um, from the midpoint of last week. If you didn't know, CPI came in cool. It came in lower than expectations, even though still kind of elevated compared to what it has been. Expectations was 3.1%, came in at 3%, um, meaning inflation was a bit cooler than expectations, which uh, leans towards more rate cuts, which the market does like very much. So we did break this all-time highs before we had that tariff announcement at this 23,400 area, and now we are above those all-time highs. We made a new all-time high right before 25,600 over there at 25,575 is where we created that new fresh all-time high. So coming into this week, I guess we can just start from a little um, macro standpoint. Obviously, I mean this monthly candle um, was bearish. It's now above that previous month high. That previous month high is like 25,000. Um, so now we are clear and away above previous month's high. Um, Weekly chart, we're clear and above those previous week highs. We also appear to have a new higher low on the weekly chart. Low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So I mean, we still have quite a bit of room to go up, in my opinion. Now let's drop down to the 4-hour chart, which is where I started. I like the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart gives a pretty good read on levels. So first thing that I am going to be watching is obviously a slight pullback into 25,400 here for a demand bounce, and then after that a break, retest of previous all-time highs and for longs. Um, so yeah, so like I said, I just want to see a retest of this 25,400, and then a for a demand bounce and a break of all-time highs for longs. One setup that I could see playing out, which is going to be one of my top watches, is if we pull back, lose this 25,400, which is at previous all-time highs, and then we bounce off this 25,360. So this right here will trap shorts, get shorts interested, and then reclaim. That is your A plus long entry. Obviously, because you always want to have an entry where shorts or longs are trapped, because that gives you the best risk reward. Because normally your risk is more defined when that happens, and it gives you more of those squeezy moves and gives you those bigger moves. But I'm willing to take a bounce, willing to take the sweep and reclaim, willing to take the all-time high breakout. I really don't see any world where shorts um, really do anything for me unless we get below this 25,363. That's the only area that I could see. I could see any for any reason to take any shorts. Next, we'll hop over to the ES chart, which is obviously the S&P 500 future, and it's, I mean, same thing, same thing, different chart, same thing. Ultra bullish, we have another daily higher low, low, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and now we are just going into, and we already formed another higher high. Going down to the 4-hour time frame, the only thing that I see that has anything to do with any short-sided chart, I do see this this trend line that we've had since the very beginning of September. We bounced off it here. We rejected off of it here, which is this was at a like kind of lower high that we had after the tariff announcement. Reject off it here, and we couldn't get above it on Friday session, even with the positive CPI. So if we do get above that level, so which kind of correlates here, this like 68.40 and this trend line resistance. Obviously, if we get above that, then we have nothing but room, probably into 7,000 on the ES chart. Similar to the NQ chart, long scenarios here. First, what I just discussed, which is just going to be a break over all-time highs at 68.40. Get a nice break, get a retest, long entry, and then next is just a retest of 68.15 for a demand bounce, and that is really the only thing that I'm watching on ES. Only way shorts come into play is if we lose this like 68.15, but we really only have room to the 67.90. So really, you have to risk 30 points for a 20-point move. My opinion, not smart. Always want to trade with, it should be a 1 to 2 RR, but 1 to 1 is good as long as you can maintain a somewhat decent win rate. But yeah, that's what I'm watching on the ES chart. Same thing, mighty bullish. Only thing that I can see is if we reject off this trend line again. But I really don't see any scenario where shorts come into play unless we get some news and lose those previous all-time highs. That's the only way. But yeah, so this week it's really just longs, which for me personally, I don't like trading long setups only. I trade better short even when the market is uptrending. I still trade those little intraday pullbacks better than I do long setups. I don't know what it is, but I see bearish setups cleaner. I execute on bearish setups better, but unfortunately for me, it's just not going to be the way it crumbles this week. I wanted to go over a few beta names, just for reference. So Apple, that's your range. Apple chart, mighty bullish. Wow. Apple, weekly close above previous all-time highs of 260. Mega bullish. Same thing. Weekly lower high here. Yeah, Apple's a goner. Apple's a goner. Even formed another nice little 4-hour higher low. And if it breaks this 265, it's gone. Nothing to 263. Nothing until like 270-ish at the bare minimum. Nvidia, I believe Nvidia got strong. It was one of the weaker names throughout the Nvidia is one of the weaker names throughout the week. It struggled breaking over these points. I mean, it did hold demand on that Wednesday. It held that 176 level. It did reclaim some levels here, but this 187.50 is very big. It's tried to fill that gap in like 188. It could not get over 190. We get back into 195. Get back into 195. We break 195, 196. We should get back into that 200. Meta. Let's see what Meta's doing. Yeah, Meta, I have too many levels. I haven't redrawn my levels on Meta in too long, so I'm not even going to go over this chart. AMD is just a freight train. Oh my god. AMD 244 pullback. That's it. It's the only thing that I can see there. Amazon. How Amazon was not red after it had the outage issues is beyond me. Actually beyond me. They caused half the world to shut down with AWS issues, and they were green on the day. That was absurd. But Amazon, let me edit that. Amazon, long story short though, it held big demand, has equal lows at this demand, reclaimed, and now if it breaks above 228, got nothing but room into 234, 234 into 240. Reclaimed 240, we got nothing but room into 240, 250, all-time highs. After that, break that, we should see 250 on this Amazon chart. Um, but yeah, that's all I got for today. Um, pretty much every single name that I went over, there's one thing in common, and that is every single chart looks higher. Looks like they all created some form of a higher low on the higher time frame. So that is all we have to trade off of. I personally don't trade too well at all-time highs, so make sure everyone trades smart. Make sure that you trade safe. And yeah, that's all I got. Hopefully this week we can get back into into creating some recap videos. Because honestly, it helps my trading as well, being able to go over and see those levels. But yep, that's all I got for this weekend, guys, and have a great rest of your weekend.